Should you create your own media, pay for media, or wait for others to create media for you? These are questions that we will answer in the video to help you create a digital strategy that helps you achieve your goals. The answers to the previous questions can be answered through the 3 types of media. They are owned media, paid media, and earned media. We're going to share what exactly these types of media are, examples of these types of media, and at what point you should focus on each of these. So, to first briefly discuss what each of these types of media are, we're going to start with owned media. Owned media is basically your home on the internet. Imagine it as your house in the real world. On the internet, it's where you hang out. This could be your website, your social media channels, your blog, for instance. It's something that you have built to house your brand, your products, and your work. One important indicator, which we will discuss more in depth with paid media, is that owned media is free. Now you may be thinking that with a website or blog, you pay for a domain and hosting server. Yes, that is true, but that is different than paid media, which is essentially payment towards marketing media. Your site, whether it's your blog or media channels, market themselves for free, which is how payment is perceived in this context. Now, let's move on to the description of paid media to help you understand it a little bit more. Paid media is essentially advertising. If owned media is the house in the real world, paid media is the billboard you see on the street, the commercials you see on TV, for instance. On the internet, these paid advertisements come in the form of display ads, pay-per-click ads, or even paid social media placements. With paid media, you are paying for media to be used in a marketing sense. You expect returns on this media as well. Now, let's discuss earned media. Earned media is other people's media that markets your media. In the real world, this would be in-person communication or word of mouth. On the internet, this is people creating media about you. This could be people sharing your media. Some common examples might also include retweeting your media, mentioning, sharing. They are distributing your media throughout their channels. So you don't own it, but you have earned it as it is about you. With earned media, it's important to note that you didn't pay them to post about your channel or work. They did it for free. This is where people start to ask about paid influencers or brand ambassadors. Brand ambassadors create content about companies or brands, but it is their content. So technically, it is earned media for the company, you may think. However, brand ambassadors or influencers are paid. Because they are paid, I would say that they're paid media. The media they create is not something you earned organically. It is something you paid for. It is a form of advertising. You paid the ambassador for a service, and they provided that marketing service to you. If the ambassador was not being paid and decided to promote your channel by themselves, then that would be considered earned media because you did not have a formal agreement with the influencer and they therefore are not receiving financial compensation for promoting you. Okay, your next question is probably, should I invest in all of these or just some of these? So I would say all 3 are really great. To start out, I believe everyone should have owned media. Without owned media is like asking people to come over to your house and not having a house. People need to know where to go on the internet when they want to learn about you. Whether it's your website, social media channels, blog, or another platform, the owned media is yours. Your brand mission, values, work, products, and you all hang out on this owned media. This is where you would drive people to if you ever did paid media, for example. And you would expect earned media to direct people to your owned media. Now, when it comes to paid media, it really depends on resource availability. Do you have the funds to pay for media? You may or may not. But before you do this, it's important to know that paid media is not always the better alternative to owned media. Everyone should have owned media, as it serves as a foundation for your work. Paid media is used as a marketing tool to get more people to visit your owned media. Paid media is also not a guaranteed reach booster if you don't use it effectively. You could easily waste your time if you don't understand who you're marketing to. I would recommend that you work on your owned media as it's free, so promoting organically through your social media channels, and learn what types of content work really well with your audience and what doesn't. Then once you have a good understanding, then invest your money in paid media such as paid advertisements or social media advertisements to see what works. Paid media is great as it can exponentially advance your reach. Many of the social media platforms, for instance, are a pay-for-play game now. Putting money into the system allows your media to be reached by more people. However, again, it's important to understand how it works before you do it. If you worked on owned media first, such as your own social media channels or your website, and your media performed poorly, you only lost your time and effort. However, if you did paid media first and your media performed poorly, you lost time, effort, and your money. The goal is to maximize your time and effort as well. However, you have to invest time and effort in order to advance your digital goals regardless. However, you don't have to put in money though. Therefore, putting in money at the start may not be the best move if you don't understand the game first. Now, with earned media. Earned media is generated by both owned media and paid media. People can find your own media, such as your social media posts, and they can find your paid media, such as your display ads, and create media based off of both. This media you can't claim ownership of, but it's an important tool to showcase the virality and distribution of your content. It's basically people thinking, oh, this content is really great, and I want my networks to also watch and consume it. If people are willing to take some of their time to share your content or create content based off of your media, then it shows that they value what you're saying or doing. You are building a loyal following. Okay, so what are some lessons learned from the 3 types of media? Some common lessons learned from this are, if you were creating owned media, such as your website, and you are investing in paid media, such as social media ads, but you are not receiving earned media, which are other people's shares, mentions, retweets, then something is wrong. If you're doing all this work on owned and paid platforms and other people are not endorsing your work or sharing it with their networks, then you need to reevaluate the work that you're doing. Why are people not connecting with the work? Why would people not want to endorse it to their own channels? Earned media is an important action that you need others to contribute to your digital strategy. So if others are not contributing, then you may need to change something about your content in your owned media and paid media. Second, if you're creating owned media and you're seeing earned media come out of it, such as people are sharing content from your social media channels for free, this means that you may not need paid media. It depends on who you want to market to and also what level of growth you want to achieve. Obviously, you have figured out a good content strategy as people are really connecting with your work. You could channel that into paid media to amplify your reach if you wanted to. However, if you don't have the money or don't want to spend money on this, you really don't need to, as you're doing well in both owned and earned media. Okay, the third lesson. If you are investing in paid media and you are seeing earned media as a result of it, which means that people are really connecting with your advertisements or sharing your ads, or people are connecting with your brand ambassador's endorsement of your channel, this is really great. However, if you don't have owned media, then you are basically just an idea that people are talking about. It's like if there was a commercial about a new restaurant and celebrities were talking about the restaurant being really cool, and then you went to go look for it and you can't find the physical location. You can't find the home. You can't find your owned media. Then what's the point? You need owned media, such as a blog or website or your own social media channel, to be a place where people can land. You don't want to rob people of the opportunity to get to know you and your brand. It also creates a sense of credibility when you have your own website, for instance. Remember, owned media is really important. So overall, there are 3 types of media: owned, paid, and earned media. They're all really great and they're all really useful in their own way, but depending on your digital strategy, it's important to try and test some of them at different points. Not all of them will be helpful to you, some of them may. It's always important to have that own media as a home for all of the media on the internet about you. Okay, well that's all I have for you. Thanks for watching, everyone. Our whole goal is to create quick and easy videos that break down marketing concepts into small bite sizes. We hope this video helps you understand a little bit more about how to create a digital strategy using the 3 types of media. If you like this video, let us know below in the comments and subscribe to our channel for more videos related to this topic. Thanks everyone, we'll see you next time.